No,
not yet, but we're
quite.
excited.
Yes, so excited.
Why are you excited?
This is freshman movement day.
Yeah, get to see the new babies.
I know.
Yeah.
J to the H to the UNTAL to Hunter J to the H to the UNTAL to Hunter J to the H to the UNTAL to Hunter.
Is this the most important thing you bought?
And the goldfish, yes.
It's gonna live on those two items.
Angela, tell me about that pig.
Yes.
It's actually a cat.
A cat.
Oh.
It's my friend.
Is that a name?
Yeah, his name is Mint.
Welcome to the show!
We're doing this because we want to, help transition the freshmen to a great college, make their college experience great, best 4 years of their life. And we're here to do that. We're here to we're the catalysts for their experience at William and Mary.
You must have the courage to hope. You must have the courage to imagine a better and brighter day. And so today, when you walk through the doors behind me, you are going to join a community that goes back to the founding fathers of this nation. And I hope and pray that you do so with great boldness.
A successful institution of higher education is always under construction, and its continued progress is utterly dependent on a team effort. And we've come a very long way together, you and I. Well, in the same spirit, let me say now that my last day as president of William & Mary will be June 30, 2018, after a decade as this iconic university's 27th leader.
It's about connecting your passion to something larger than yourself, to a community, to a nation, and to a world.
It was just 50 years ago that people of color were allowed to come here as students. It occurred because of the perseverance and the grit of these women right here. History is not just from a long time ago. History is happening right now.
This brings back a lot of memories being here. I haven't been on this field 46 years.
324 years, there's a level of respect that is virtually unparalleled. are a courier of freedom.
In the right light, we can leave wrong behind. By the light, there is good we can know. In the light, justice can grow. To all of you, get some light and share it.
I declare that William & Mary's 2018 to 19 academic year has now begun. "326 years ago, we were founded on the impulse to try for the two-point conversion, to expand in unlikely directions, and to cultivate surprising ideas. Now, on the 100th anniversary of coeducation and 50 years after our first African American students were in residence, we celebrate each change that makes us more ourselves. Indeed, the promises of innovation, inclusion, and partnership have been hallmarks of this institution since our charter, down to the ampersand in our name. William & Mary, let's go for the long pass together at every opportunity.
Beneath thy trees, within thy halls, dear college, we give praise to thee, to pledge ourselves whate'er befalls, to pledge unfailing loyalty. Our hearts are with thee, dear William and Mary, however far we stray. Our noble college, hear us now, thy children sing to thee today. Dear college, old in years and fame, and richly old in honors too, time shall not dull the shining name, whose gleam of songs will e'er renew. And as years go by, dear William and Mary, thy fame will never cease. But each new year rejoice to see thy children's praise to thee increase. We honor thee not for our gain, but to make known thy majesty, thy truth and courage that remain, however harsh the face may be. As through troublous years, dear William and Mary, our country fought, so thou hast fought, and won and lived to hear thy children singing to thee now. O thou our guardian and our guide, renew our courage every hour, and keep thy spirit by our side, to aid us with this watchful power. Throughout our lives, dear William and Mary, we pledge our loyalty. Dear college, now and evermore, thy children cry all hail to thee.
Let's go.
That ring.
And in the midst of all of this, you must have the courage to hope. You must have the courage to imagine a better and brighter day. And you must take the curiosity that this institution will feed and use it to discover the innovative, incredible solutions that will heal this brokenness. And so today, you are going to join a community that goes back to the founding fathers of this nation. And I hope and pray that you do so with great boldness.
Hi, class of 2020, it's Kelsey. I'm just so grateful that we've gotten to share the past 4 years together. I know this isn't the commencement that any of us imagined, but I'm so proud of us. I hope that you're proud of you, and I hope that you can take this moment to celebrate your accomplishments and how far that you've come.
Hello, William & Mary class of 2020. This is Christy Coleman, wishing you nothing but the best as you graduate. It may not be quite the way you planned, but you've earned this celebration. So do it big, do it safe, and go change the world.
Hi, class of 2020. I'm David Culver, class of 2009, now with CNN, coming to you from the future. I'm in Shanghai, which is 12 hours ahead of Williamsburg, but I just want to let you know that all of this uncertainty shall pass. It will. Meantime, appreciate the loved ones you're surrounded by and soak in the stillness. Congrats.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Your hard work has paid off. Now get out there and...
Hi, I'm Jacob Fry, Mayor of Minneapolis and a proud graduate of the College of William & Mary. Congratulations. You all did it. Now you're going to go out there and be absolutely excellent.
Hi, class of 2020. This is Kathleen Morgan from the Dean of Arts and Sciences office, wishing you a truly unforgettable graduation. Congratulations.
Congratulations, William & Mary class of 2020. I was planning to speak at your commencement and celebrate your great achievements in person, but we all got the same meeting canceled notification. So look, it's a heavy time. And if I had to give you one piece of advice, I'd say, don't anchor yourself to today. I promise this weight will lift. I say this out of both optimism and experience. We will emerge from this crisis stronger and more energized. You didn't have a choice to accept this challenge, but you do have a choice to make the most of it. Keep making history, and again, congratulations.
Class of 2020, congratulations and welcome to the greatest alumni base in the country. Look, I know that was hard, but that's why you can now say that you're a graduate from the College of William & Mary. As you guys know, we're small, but we're proud, so take pride in how far you guys have come, and I look forward to seeing the tremendous amount of impact you guys are going to have on our society moving forward. Congratulations.
Hello, graduates. I am Tom Ward, Professor of Education and President of the William & Mary Faculty Assembly. On behalf of the entire faculty at William & Mary, I want to offer greetings and congratulations. I want you to know that we are and will continue to be proud of your accomplishments. So take this time to remotely celebrate your achievements with family and friends. For those who are able, we look forward to seeing you in person this October to complete the celebration.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Welcome to the tribe. Find your space and go dare mighty things.
To the class of 2020, I believe that the disruption that you've had to endure will make you one of the most creative, resourceful, and resilient classes in the long history of William & Mary.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. You are joining a long line of green and gold that stretches across the history of our great republic. You will be called on to do great things, and in challenging and demanding times. Go forth and seize the future. Make it your own. Go Tribe.
Members of the class of 2020, as rector of the college, it is my pleasure to extend greetings to each of you on behalf of the 17 members of the William & Mary Board of Visitors. This is certainly a unique way to end your college experience, but you are not the first graduating class at William & Mary to face challenges and uncertainties. Whether it was the American Revolution or other wars, smallpox or the Spanish flu, or economic hardships, your predecessors left campus determined to tackle these challenges and change the world. And they usually did. You are now part of the living history of this college, and we urge you to remain engaged in the life of William & Mary as alumni, even as you travel to points across the globe to meet today's challenges and change your world. The effort and perseverance required to reach this point are neither for the faint of heart nor the weak of spirit. I hope that you all take the time to fully celebrate the hard work, dedication, and achievement that have brought you to this moment. Congratulations and best wishes to each of you.
Congratulations, class of 2020. The William & Mary Alumni Association welcomes you across the threshold from student to alumnus, joining our network of more than 100,000 proud alumni.
I'm Mike Tomlin, class of 95. I'd like to offer a sincere congratulations to the class of 2020, but I'd also like to offer a challenge. These are unique times that we face today, to say the least. But being a William & Mary alum, I know this group is duly prepared. I challenge this group to go out and live life to the fullest, to pursue their passions in every field of human endeavor, to be positive contributors to our society and represent William & Mary well. Again, congratulations.
Greetings to the class of 2020. I am Ariel Newby, Staff Assembly President. We are so proud of you and congratulate you. And we know you got this, so go out there and be great.
Thank you, class of 2020, for being a valued part of our community these past 4 years. Williamsburg is all the better for it. You will always be welcome here. So please come back soon and often. Congratulations on everything you have accomplished and for everything that you are going to do to make our world a better place.
So, class of 2020, you have nailed your William & Mary degrees despite the best efforts of the wicked coronavirus to throw sand in your wheels. You have now joined the great cloud of William & Mary alumni and alumni that circles the globe. You know, during your early years, your first years at William & Mary, I was your president. You will always have my abiding affection and my warmest best wishes for your success and happiness. So 3 cheers for the great class of 2020.
Congratulations to the class of 2020 on behalf of all the staff and professionals at William & Mary. We are so proud of you and we miss you. You're going to do great things. Again, congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020 at William & Mary. There are certainly challenges out there, but I can't think of a group more prepared or more suited to attack those challenges head on than a group of graduates from the College of William & Mary. I encourage each and every one of you to let your light shine and go Tribe.
These are trying times and we are all grieving, but out of adversity there is always triumph. This class of 2020 is resilient, compassionate, and dedicated. You have left an indelible mark on William & Mary, leaving it a little better than you found it. But challenges await you. You're heading into a troubled world, and it needs you to make it better than you will first find it. I am very confident you will, which is the source of great joy and great pride. Congratulations, graduates, and Godspeed.
All hail, Tribe graduates. Lend me your ear. And take off those AirPods and slow down on that beer. We salute you on this special day. You've persevered and you have grown. Thank all who helped you get here, for you did not walk alone. Though you're not together in the hall, tossing caps up in the air, Tribe Nation is behind you, and know that we all care. A degree from William & Mary offers a unique and strong foundation. Regardless of your calling, you will somehow change a nation. As you leave the sanctity of the Burg and your next great chapter unfolds, know that you are ready and always rock the green and gold. So my sincerest congratulations to the 2020 class Lead, love, persist. Go forth and kick some ass.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning and welcome. Graduates, congratulations, you did it. You have pursued learning at the highest levels, forged lasting friendships, and prepared to be exceptional professionals and global citizens. This spring will go down in the annals of William and Mary's long history. So too will the compassion, creativity, and resilience of our students, professional students, graduate students, and undergraduates in the great class of 2020. Members of William and Mary's Board of Visitors, families, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends joining us from across the ether, we are glad that you are here to help us celebrate. Before we get started, I want to set the stage for today's ceremony. It's important to acknowledge that today is not the celebration any of us imagined. I'm coming to you from the Wren Building, solo, surrounded by William and Mary's most cherished ceremonial objects. I want you to know that they are waiting for you. Our celebration will be both virtual today, and on October 10, we will come back together for the joyous pomp and circumstance of commencement in person. And today, we find ways to bridge the separation we are called to in service to the health of our communities. We have already heard salutes to the class of 2020 by alumni and friends. We will hear congratulations from student leaders, and we will confer 2,684 hard-earned degrees. So without further ado, it is my distinct honor to introduce William and Mary's Chancellor, the Honorable Robert M. Gates.
To the class of 2020, you are different. In William and Mary's 327 years, this is the first, and God willing will be the only, virtual degree conferral en masse. Wherever you are today, I hope you and your loved ones are healthy and well. Completing a William and Mary degree is no small feat. You did it without setting foot in a classroom after spring break, without seeing the campus come into bloom with friends, without enjoying the typical rites of your final semester at William and Mary. In my experience, people who have overcome challenges stand a little taller. They know they've got what it takes to persevere. In my experience, people who have overcome challenges love a little more deeply. They know how precious time is with those held dear. In my experience, people who have overcome challenges celebrate a little more joyfully. They know how to savor the moment. Class of 2020, you are different. Be proud that you are. Stand tall, love deeply, celebrate joyfully. We honor you today, and I look forward to celebrating with you in person this fall. Congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you, Chancellor Gates. Each spring, William and Mary recognizes graduating students, faculty, and staff with awards for excellence and service. The Lord Botetourt Medal, established in 1772 for the honor and encouragement of literary merit, goes to the graduating senior with the greatest distinction in scholarship. The 2020 recipient is Kristen Popham. Kristen graduates with a double major in government and French and a near-perfect GPA. Her professors recognize her as a brilliant and fearless student and research partner. She approaches learning with humility and wonder. Her academic pursuits, combined with her empathy for those around her, make her an outstanding member of the William and Mary community. Congratulations, Kristen. The James Frederick Carr Memorial Cup goes to the graduating senior who best combines the qualities of character, scholarship, and leadership. This year's Carr Cup goes to Ellie Thomas, outgoing Vice President of the Student Assembly. Ellie has worked to cultivate an environment in which her classmates flourish at William and Mary. She leads with thoughtful, quiet persistence and an outstanding work ethic. She brings positive energy to all her endeavors and will pursue a career path in public service after graduation. Congratulations, Ellie. The Thatcher Prize honors the 21st Chancellor of William and Mary, Margaret the Lady Thatcher. The award goes to a graduate or professional student of outstanding scholarship, service, and character. This year's Thatcher recipient is Hillary Cody. Hillary has distinguished herself at the William and Mary School of Law through her intelligence and hard work. She served as editor-in-chief for the William and Mary Law Review, associate chair of the Honor Council, and as a teaching assistant. In the classroom, she combines exceptional research, analytical, and communication skills with wit and care. Congratulations, Hillary. In memory of Algernon Sidney Sullivan, the New York Southern Society recognizes 2 students in the graduating class and 1 other person with close ties to William and Mary for heart, mind, and helpfulness to others. The student winners of this year's Sullivan Award are Milka Merritt and Cameron Howe. Milka Merritt set forth a goal to make William and Mary more inclusive. She leads change with grace. She has steered numerous campus projects and catalyzed student, staff, and faculty collaborations. Her leadership has helped make William and Mary a more welcoming place for all students. Congratulations, Milka. Cameron Howe exemplifies compassion and a steadfast willingness to help others. He goes out of his way to ensure his classmates feel included and valued. He brings warmth and sharp thinking to understand how he can change his community for the better. Congratulations, Cameron. The 3rd Sullivan Award recipient is Linda Knight. As Director of Campus Recreation and Executive Director of Health and Wellness, Linda puts students first. She pours her passion and time into giving students the resources that they need to thrive. Her work has helped make the Student Recreation Center a cherished place for our community. Congratulations, Linda. In honor of William and Mary's 23rd president, Thomas A. Graves, Jr., the Graves Award recognizes sustained excellence in teaching. This year, we recognize Professor Liz Allison and Professor Chris Garys. Liz Allison welcomes and challenges her students through one-on-one mentoring and personalized teaching. One former student writes, she guides her students to discover science for themselves. This year, she was recognized by the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology for her work to encourage underrepresented students to pursue science. Congratulations, Liz. Chris Garys' teaching bridges research, service, and practice. His students explore classroom assessment and teacher evaluation in K-12 schools. He approaches his classroom as a field-based lab to prepare students to tackle the challenges facing education. Congratulations, Chris. Finally, an endowment from Charles and Ann Duke supports an annual award to an outstanding staff member in memory of Mr. Duke's parents, Charles and Virginia Duke. This year's Duke Award recipient is Kathleen Morgan. Colleagues regard Kathy as a trusted expert. As Associate Director for Personnel Services for the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, she answers questions with accuracy and kindness. She takes a long view to understand the near and long-term effects of new policies. And her diligent work to support faculty hiring, tenure, and promotion ensures that William & Mary recruits and retains the most talented teachers and scholars. Kathy, congratulations. Now it is time to confer earned degrees. Today, William & Mary graduates the 6th class for my joint degree program with St. Andrews University in Scotland. This year, 20 graduates will become full alumni of both universities. Graduates of our joint degree program, wherever you may be, please take a bow. For hundreds of years, William & Mary's students and graduates have served in this nation's armed forces with distinction. Yesterday, the United States Army commissioned 5 William & Mary students. Also receiving William & Mary degrees today are 123 active duty reserve or military veterans, newly commissioned officers, and other graduating military personnel and veterans. Please receive our gratitude. Now it's my pleasure to introduce William & Mary's Provost, Peggy Agoras.
We will begin with the conferral of doctoral degrees. Kate Conley, Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, will present candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Arts and Sciences. John T. Wells, Dean of the School of Marine Science, will present candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Marine Science. And Spencer G. Niles, Dean of the School of Education, will present candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy in Education and Doctor of Education.
There are 35 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Arts and Sciences.
There are 14 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Marine Science.
There are 34 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Education and 15 for Doctor of Philosophy in Education.
Candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education, please stand as you are able. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of the College of William & Mary in Virginia, I confer upon each of you, as appropriate, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Education, and welcome you into the ancient and universal company of scholars. Congratulations.
Davison M. Douglas, Dean of the Law School, will present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Laws and Doctor of Jurisprudence.
There are 38 candidates for the degree of Master of Laws and 181 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Jurisprudence. Please stand as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Laws or Doctor of Jurisprudence, and declare that you are well prepared to protect and advance the rule of law in this and other countries. Congratulations.
Dean Niles will present the candidates for the Educational Specialist degree and the degrees of Master of Arts in Education and Master of Education. Dean Conley will present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Arts, and Master of Public Policy. And Dean Wells will present the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Marine Science.
There are 7 candidates for the Educational Specialist degree, 89 for Master of Arts in Education, and 52 for Master of Education. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Educational Specialist, Master of Arts in Education, or Master of Education, and declare you well prepared to nurture the schools of our Commonwealth and nation. Congratulations.
There are 44 candidates for the degree of Master of Science, 17 for Master of Arts, and 14 for Masters of Public Policy. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Science, Master of Arts, or Master of Public Policy, and declare that you have successfully completed advanced study in your disciplines and are prepared to lead them forward. Congratulations.
There are 9 candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Marine Science. Candidates, please rise as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science and declare that you have successfully completed advanced study in marine science and are well prepared to ensure the vitality of the world's oceans and waterways. Congratulations.
Lawrence B. Pulley, Dean of the Mason School of Business, will present the candidates for the degrees of Master of Business Administration, Master of Accounting, and Master of Science in Business Analytics.
There are 308 candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration, 78 for Master of Accounting, and 96 for Master of Science in Business Analytics. Candidates, please stand as you are able.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon each of you as appropriate the degree of Master of Business Administration, Master of Accounting, or Master of Science in Business Analytics, and declare that you are well prepared to advance prosperity in your organizations and communities. Congratulations.
There are 1,653 candidates for the baccalaureate degrees. The deans will now present the baccalaureate candidates by field of interest or concentration.
Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, please rise as you are able as I introduce your major and then be seated. Accounting. Thank you. Business Analytics. Thank you. Finance. Thank you. Marketing. Thank you.
Candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts, please rise as you are able as I introduce your major and then be seated. American Studies, Anthropology, Art and Art History, Biology, Chemistry, Classical Studies, including Archaeology, Greek, Latin, and Classical Civilization, Computer Science, Economics, Elementary Education, English, Geology, Global Studies, including Asian and Middle Eastern Studies, Asian and Pacific Islander American Studies, European Studies, Latin American Studies, and Russian and post-Soviet Studies. Government. History. Interdisciplinary studies, including Africana studies, data science, environmental science and policy, film and media studies, gender, sexuality, and women's studies, linguistics, computational and applied mathematics and statistics, and self-designed majors. International relations, kinesiology and health sciences, mathematics, modern languages and literatures, including Chinese language and culture, French and Francophone studies, German, Hispanic studies, and Japanese studies. Music, neuroscience, philosophy, physics, psychology, public policy, religious studies, sociology, theater, speech, and dance.
Would all the candidates for baccalaureate degrees please stand as you are able? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Visitors of the College of William and Mary in Virginia, I hereby confer upon each of you, as appropriate, the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science. I welcome you into the community of graduates and professionals prepared to think critically, to solve problems collaboratively, and to lead positive change in our communities, states, and nations. Congratulations! It is now my pleasure to introduce Aaron Schwartz, Graduate Council President, followed by Cody Mills, President of the Class of 2020. Madam President, Mr. President.
On behalf of the Graduate Council, I want to congratulate all of our graduating students on all that they have accomplished here at William & Mary, especially our graduate students in business, law, education, marine science, and the many arts and sciences programs. Whether you've only been here a short time or years and years, lived in Williamsburg, Gloucester, or further away, we know that you've done good work, found good friends, and made some good memories along the way. We're incredibly excited to share in the joy you, your family, and your friends feel now that you've graduated, and we're confident you'll continue to do great things no matter where you go. Also, we wanted to recognize the passion, thoughtfulness, and resiliency of our graduating students over the past few months. The situation that we're in is unprecedented in so many ways. I don't think you imagined when you first started at William & Mary that you imagined looking at a screen for May commencement. We're facing so much uncertainty, dealing with diverse professional and personal challenges and anxieties. And graduating in these times is truly uncharted territory. But throughout the last few months, your tenacity and thoughtfulness have shown through. Your willingness to volunteer to support your friends and local communities, find ever creative ways to work and balance self-care, family, literally everything, and maintain a sense of community even far away is incredible and inspiring. You've been vocal in supporting all members of our William & Mary community, from first years navigating overlapping periods of transition to our vital campus workers. I think you all are part of a really special graduating class, and we hope you take that spirit with you. So congratulations again from everyone in Grad Council. We're sad that we can't celebrate with you in person, but we're honored that we got to share in part of your journey and can't wait to, fingers crossed, join you as alumni in the years to come. We'll miss you, but we'll be there for you. Always.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations. Above all, I hope that right now you are feeling accomplished, excited, and proud of yourself for what you have just achieved. It continues to amaze me how fast these past 4 years have flown by, when those first few days on campus felt so long and so nerve-wracking. I know most of us never imagined we would be celebrating our graduation like this, but I want to take a moment to address that this is different, this is hard, and that I miss each and every one of you. Though today is certainly one of mixed emotions, I want to use this time to celebrate something that I believe William & Mary has helped me to cultivate, appreciate, and miss dearly in the midst of not being on campus. Of course, this includes fellowship, academic curiosity, and all the rest of the buzzwords we hear associated with our school and a liberal arts education. But above all, I want to highlight community. Similar to the words I've mentioned, I know this term may have lost a great deal of its power in how overused it's become in academic settings. However, I can think of nothing more important to consider as we sit in the midst of personal developments and an ever-changing world. If there's anything that being away from campus has taught me, it's that graduation is not a goodbye to our friends, family, and deeply rooted communities, but rather a subtle departure from a location where all of these have come to exist as one. Though I miss the warmth of the sunken gardens, the screaming and laughter outside my window on a Thursday night, and the kind greetings of the William & Mary dining hall workers as we enter to eat, I've come to view our current situation as the perfect test run for what life outside of William & Mary will hold, both the good and the bad. I've come to appreciate group calls and virtual watch parties more than I ever thought I would. I've watched as students have rallied behind causes they are passionate about and uplifted vulnerable communities on campus, even from the distance of their homes. I felt down about graduation, I felt unsure about my future, and I felt scared about everything going on around me. But the one thing that's been constant throughout all of this is the community we've built throughout our time at William & Mary, and the care it's continued to provide, and we have continued to give back to it. Though times like this often call for a celebration of individual achievements and personal growth, it's just as worth mentioning that not a single one of us would be here without our respective found communities that have uplifted us, guided us, and taught us. And now it's our turn to give back to these communities in the ways that they have sacrificed for us. These diplomas that we are receiving serve a powerful reminder to all of us of our hard work and also the hard work of those who love us and constantly stand by us. While we may not be able to walk around campus, what we can do is simply say thank you to the ones that we love. And so I want to say to each and every member of the class of 2020, thank you so much for being a member of my community. We are passionate and we are uplifted. We are strong, we are deserving, and we are absolutely united. We may be gone for now, but we need always remember that saying goodbye to a place is never saying goodbye to a community. Thank you all so much again, and congratulations.
Thank you, President Schwartz and Mills. Graduates, let me say it again. Congratulations! Over the centuries, William & Mary Commencement has looked different from generation to generation. Many alumni will remember when commencement was held just outside in the Wren Yard. Some graduates today will recall walking through the Wren doors just a few years ago to roaring cheers. Today, I hope the Wren reminds you that our campus is waiting to welcome you back in October for our in-person commencement and throughout your lives as alumni. Now, a few final pieces of business, grads and families. I hope you will join faculty and classmates virtually for your department gatherings. Everyone, please join me in singing our alma mater.
Hark the students' voices swelling, strong and true and clear. Alma mater's love they're telling, ringing far and near. William and Mary, loved of old, hark upon the gale. Hear the thunder of our chorus, alma mater hail. God of
Were you looking for this? Whoever catches it, remember, bring it back in October. Go long.
Never ends with me and my friends, 'cause life is made for living. If you wanna take a dive, we find our own adventures, make our own paradise, and we're climbing every mountaintop, because life is never meant to stop, and we shout it from the highest rock. It's always better when we're together, and we know just how we wanna live, and we're going where we wanna go. Wanna let you know everything's better when we're together. Life is always better, ayo, ayo, when we are together, ayo, ayo. We're walking on cold rays. These are the best days. No matter where we roam, my friends are my home. The world ain't all that big, so we're just gonna live. And we don't know where life will take us next, but we're just gonna live it now with no regrets.